Imagine you're standing in a crowded room full of people holding matches, and the floor is covered in dry, petrol-soaked cloth. Nobody wants to set the room on fire, but all it takes is one spark. That's exactly how the world looked in 1914. And World War I wasn't caused by one assassin, one bullet, or one moment. It was caused by decades of pressure building under the surface, waiting for just the smallest flame. Hello everyone, you are watching 5-Minute Breakdown. Today, we're going to break down the real reason World War I happened. And trust me, it's much bigger than just the murder of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. We've all heard the textbook line, World War I started because the Archduke of Austria-Hungary was assassinated in Sarajevo. Sure, that event lit the spark, but the fire had been prepared long before that. If the world had been stable, that assassination would have been an isolated tragedy, not the beginning of a global catastrophe. So let's travel back a few decades and look at how the world accidentally built the perfect recipe for war. Think of Europe as a neighborhood where every country belonged to a gang. On one side, you had Triple Entente, France, Russia, Britain. On the other side, Triple Alliance, Germany, Austria, Hungary, Italy. These alliances were meant to protect peace, but in reality, they acted more like dominoes. If one country fell into conflict, everyone else was dragged in, whether they wanted to or not. It was like a group project, where if one student fights, the entire class jumps in. Europe spent years building bigger armies, better rifles, stronger navies. Germany and Britain were in a heated competition over battleships, like two neighbors trying to outdo each other's cars. A British politician at the time said, "We want to have a navy strong enough to beat the next two navies combined." Germany replied, "Oh yeah, watch this." This tension didn't cause the war directly, but it created a mindset where countries were ready, almost too ready, to fight. European powers were racing to grab colonies in Africa and Asia. The more land you had, the more powerful you looked. This competition created jealousy, rivalry, and constant tension. Britain feared Germany's rising power. France still hated Germany for invading them in 1870 and taking the region of Alsace-Lorraine. The resentment was real, like old enemies stuck living in the same apartment building, side-eyeing each other every day. Nationalism was so intense that small sparks could create huge political fires. For example, inside Austria-Hungary, millions of Serbs wanted independence. They felt Austria-Hungary was suppressing their identity. This frustration created extremist groups, like the one that would eventually assassinate Franz Ferdinand. People were so emotionally attached to their nations that negotiations became impossible. Pride overshadowed peace. The Balkans were known as the powder keg of Europe. Different ethnic groups, rising nationalism, and constant political tension made it extremely unstable. Russia supported Serbia. Austria-Hungary hated Serbia. Germany supported Austria-Hungary. France supported Russia. Basically, the Balkans were the place where any small conflict could explode into something global. On 28 June 1914, the Archduke of Austria-Hungary was killed in Sarajevo by a Serbian nationalist. But here's the crucial point. The assassination didn't create the war. It triggered a system already primed for disaster. Austria-Hungary blamed Serbia. Russia backed Serbia. Germany backed Austria-Hungary. France backed Russia. Britain got dragged in to protect Belgium. Within weeks, every major power was involved. The real reason was not the killing of one man. It was a combination of militarism, alliances, imperial competition, nationalism, and decades of political tensions. The assassination was simply the match that fell on a floor soaked in fuel. World War I was the result of fear, pride, competition, miscommunication, and a complete failure of diplomacy. The world didn't slide into war, it sleepwalked into it. The saddest part, most leaders believed the war would last only a few months. Instead, it lasted 4 years, cost millions of lives, and reshaped the modern world. And it all began because the global system was so fragile that a single spark could break it. If you want to understand why World War II happened, well, that story is the direct sequel to this one. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit like, subscribe, and comment what topic you want next. Also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and X so that we keep you updated with the latest videos. Because history is full of hidden stories waiting to be told.